أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. My name is Saif Ruhaili, and I am pleased to be here with you. We started this maybe 3 years ago, that we discussed some verses, some ideas, some commandments in the holy book of Quran. And then we try to get the benefits we can from discussion. This is not a lecture, this is only a reminder. This is a discussion, and I know some of the attendees have more to teach me than they are sitting to listen. But anyway, our subject today is the business. The business is a word where you can hear today everywhere. When you sit around your family members, your relatives, you sit around your friends, maybe at work, everywhere, some people will ask you, if you already have a business, then the first thing they ask, before they ask about your health or about your life, how is the business? How are you with the business? And it got me thinking why people care too much about business. And I found out that it's in our nature that we want to gain something as a profit. In our life, it's in our nature. And the word business is not something new. The trading, it was only changing the format or the type of gaining the profit. But business is business. It means that you are making a work or giving time or doing something for the request to gain a profit. Okay? And apparently there are two types of business. And before I speak about the two types of business, they are related to the two types of words we are living in. In the Quran, it states that there are two words. Okay? They exist or coexist together. The word of the seen, the word of the unseen, right? Alimul ghaybi wa shahada. The word of the unseen, we are asked to believe in while there are no what you call visual, or you cannot actually see. Sometimes perhaps you cannot even feel, but you need to believe there exists a world of the unseen. And there is the world of the seen where we are living in. The world we are living in at now is the world of the seen. So, if we speak about business, again, there are two types of business. One you do in this world, and one you do in the world of the unseen. Okay? And that is mentioned in the Quran. That is mentioned in the Quran. إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور. Those who recite the Quran and they do the prayer on times as commanded by Allah, and they spend their money for the sake of Allah, those who are the expectors of the good prophets for their business. So the Quran is trying trying to deliver the message that there are also some forms of trading, some forms of business also for the next life. Okay, so that's Surah Fatir. Surah Fatir, verse number 29. Okay, but please don't insist on the numbers, because it will take time to recall them. Anyways, so my message that in this life, first, to understand the business of next life, we need to know, or at least to think together about the business in this life. Okay? The first thing, if you want to do a business, you need to consider the materials or the things you are selling. Okay? How good they are. The better they are, the better profit you will get. That's well known in this life. Okay? What you are selling, what you are giving as a service, as a product, or whatsoever, or as a time you are giving, the more quality of that work or that material or that product you are given, the more gain you are expecting. This is a fact. Okay, we know from our daily lives. Correct? That's one. The second rule, you need to know with whom you are doing business. If you are doing with multi-millionaires people, you are expecting more profit, more gain than if you are doing with random people the business. So you need to know with whom you are doing the business. That's part two. The third is the trust. Most of the deals in business requires a trust, requires to wait, requires to not worry. There is a risk, of course. There is always a risk of doing a business that you will lose it. Correct? And that risk always, or is always, calculated with the people in the business. They calculate this risk, and they calculate what they will do if they fail to do this deal correctly. Anyways, now in the Quran, what it says that the business you are doing, again, it requires quality. Not anything is accepted. Only the submissions, the things you are giving up for the sake of Allah, if they came up sincerely. Okay? That's rule number one if you want to do business for the next life. It has to be sincere. Otherwise, it will be rejected because the quality is not that much good. All right? Wa alaikum salam. Secondly, that with whom you are doing business. You are doing business with the Lord. You're giving up something only for the sake of Allah to reward you. So be careful. Okay? The third type, what is your profit? What is the output coming? Correct? And the output or the profit or the gain you will get from that business is something eternal, something forever, which is called paradise or heaven, and whatsoever mentioned in the Quran in details about the reward. Now, they say the word of seeing gets you closer to the word of the unseen. Okay? The more you sit with business people, with businessmen or businesswomen, you will understand this very well. The top dangerous or the top tough relation you can make is with a businessman. If he is very good at his business, it is very difficult to make friendship with him or to make relation with him with no gain. The guy understands nothing but how to gain profit. And that's why you see that these businessmen, they are very careful in their selection. And maybe even with their relatives, they try to categorize them. How do I get benefits from you? If there is no benefit, he will not waste his time with you or her time with you. Okay? And in the sense of this life, this is very good because they know what they are doing. They know how to use their time. And lots of businessmen, they will tell you in your face they don't have time, even maybe for their parents or their relatives or whatsoever. They are busy. Unless there is something related to their business, they can spend time with you. And the same story will goes for those who are doing trading with Allah. When they calculate their time, you will find them, they are very, very busy, and you will be surprised. You say, I got the same time or the same amount of time, yet they are very busy. Why they are busy? Because they value the time of this life. It's like they already signed the deal that they want that reward from Allah. So they are very, very busy. They keep short of sleep, okay? They lack of sleep for the sake of Allah. They are praying, and whatever money they gain, they will spend with people knowing or without they are knowing. They are spending their money all the time for the sake of Allah. And if they have time left, it's only for the recitation of the Holy Book. So that's, you can, I know that at least you met one from this kind and you met one from that kind. A trader or a businessman for the next life and a businessman for this life. The only issue that in this life you get to choose whether to do business or not. You say, I'm stable with the income now I'm getting. I don't need to do more. I don't need extra income. I don't want to collect more money. That's your choice. But for the next life, you are considered a loser if you don't get into this deal. So it's not optional. It's never optional to become or to get into the business. The Quran itself stated that it is a business. يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً لَن تَبُورَ. Okay, so they are doing a business. And because now the life has moved us very far away from anything related to the next life, we cannot see, or we rarely hear about the profits or the benefits of doing business for next life. Now we try to make everything that even what is supposed to be for the sake of Allah, maybe it will divert us to make it something for the sake of our business in this life. And that is very, very dangerous, because it kills the benefits. Remember when I was speaking about the quality of the service, the quality of the work, the quality of the product you are submitting. That's very important. Now, where is that mentioned in the Quran? In Surah Al-Mulk, okay, verse 2. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. He didn't say أكثر. Okay, he didn't say who has the more of work or deeds. He did say who has the better, or in terms of quality, it is better in the submission. Because if we are thinking that it's a matter of quantity of work, this is related to the business in this life. The more you do, the more you sell, the more you gain. It's all about numbers. But in the business with Allah, it's all about the quality of work. Okay? How good is it? How sincere is it? Okay? How it fits the time required to do that thing, or that work, or to spend that money. Okay? This is very important, because sometimes when you're hanging out with your friends and they say, how old are you? And you will say, I am 40, 35, 50. Then they say, what did you do in your life? Why you didn't establish a business? Why you didn't start to sell things? Why you are only, and now we see this crisis, or this blame is coming with the retirement decision from the government. Everyone is what is saying, that you wasted your life. 50 years, 60 years of your life are spent for nothing. Okay? This is true in the meaning of this life. But no one will come and ask you, what did you do as a business between you and your Lord for the sake of next life? Okay? No one will come and ask you about this. except very, very few. And that is scary, actually. Okay? You're 60 years old, and maybe your son, your brother, your sister, or your mother come and ask you, you spent 60 years of your life, did you do any business? Did you make any profit? Did you make any financial stability? But they never ask you about the next life. Did you reach that level of praying? Are you one of those who are described in the Quran as the true believers? Did you feel anything while doing this business with Allah that makes you continue? No one come and ask you these questions. Why? Because the number of people who are doing this business are very few. Okay? They are very few. And you are lucky if you came across any one of those. Because actually they will give you the tips. They will give you the secrets. They will give you like the directions and guidelines on how to do this business. And this was a message. This was a message. It used to be given between the true believers. It's like the best advice you would be given, that how to do business with the Lord as long as you are alive. How to spend your life doing business for the next life in the unseen world. And I'll give you one of the things that is quite amazing to make you wonder. You will see two scholars, maybe in the same religion, okay? Two scholars in the same religion, and they are writing. They are writing books. They are writing knowledge. That knowledge is considered as continuous sadaqah for them. But you will see one book, it will sustain maybe 1,000 years. People are reading from that book. And whoever reads from that book and gets benefits, the author will get rewards, right? وَعِلْمٌ يُنْتَفَعُ بِهِ. You left a knowledge that made a benefit for others. While you will see that another book, it will not sustain maybe 1 year or 2 years, and then no one cares about it. Here you will see the secrets of doing business with Allah if Allah accepts you. Okay? It will sustain. It will sustain for a long time. Allah said, مثل الذين ينفقون in Surah Al-Baqarah, I don't remember the verse, and مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله. See, those who are spending their money only for the sake of Allah, كمثل حبة أنبتت سبع سنابل. This is the business you are doing. Okay? كمثل حبة أنبتت سبع سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة. So the gain is around 700. Okay? You give one, the reward is 700. That's your profit. So that 700, okay, you don't know in what format it will come. But that's how much profit you would make if you are doing business with Allah. But the rules that your business should be accepted. You go to any company, you want to float a tender, you do a service, consultancy work, you can do service work, whatsoever. And you go to that company and they will say, before you bid for a tender, before you come and try to work, please read the rules, qualification rules. Without qualification rules, you will be rejected directly. Okay? And that's a concept of business. So if you want to do a business for the next life, there are qualification rules. And they are mentioned in the Quran. And the top one, that you need to be sincere. It's not for the sake of anyone. Okay? Except to please Allah. And once you get into this sort of business, it will never stop. Similar to those people who are making business in this life. Once they start to sell something, and they see the Prophet and they get good at it, they will never give up. They will continue even for 20 years selling the same product. And when you ask them, they say, we know what you don't know about selling this product. Same feeling comes for those who are doing tradings with the Lord. And they never stop. They never give up. They continue because they know the value, they know the outcomes. All right. So I gave you, but the best example I could give you, the best example, that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Inna fatahna laka fathan mubina." The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is about to open Mecca, okay, was to open Mecca and to enter Mecca, okay, and Allah said that fath, that opening, was a cause for what? For eternal forgiveness from everything. ليغفر لك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر. ليغفر لك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر. Now when you wonder about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, okay, when you wonder about him, and the more, this is a fact, the more you know about next life, the less you think about this life, regardless of your talents, knowledge, whatsoever. Okay? So what happens? Now imagine Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, out of all prophets, every verse of the holy book is read. Okay? Is read. There is a similar reward for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu when the reader reads the Quran. Now imagine 1 billion reading the Quran. Each reward that promised for these readers, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu get the same. Each one making a prayer, okay, at day or at night, okay, there is a reward similar to that to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Any person visits Mecca doing Umrah or doing Hajj, there is a similar rewards for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. Now, there is, if there is even a counter, you cannot count the amount of rewards Prophet Muhammad sallallahu getting. He was sincere with the da'wah. He was sincere to deliver the message, and he was accepted. That is the main important thing. He was accepted by Allah. Now you cannot even imagine the reward he is getting. No one. That's why they say Maqam al-Mahmud. And the scholars are debating what is al-Maqam al-Mahmud. Okay? And the same goes with the Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar. We have given you the Kawthar. What is the Kawthar? No one knows. Lots of scholars, and they try to give, but they don't know. It's something valuable given only to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu for the work he has done. Now for this short time or of our life, okay, I know that it's in our nature, we need to ensure our financial stability. I know this. But please don't make this at your top goal in this life. There is another sort of business you need to work on. And at least you need to learn first how to trade, how to get used to these things. Okay? And that is very important, because now let's imagine you lost, let's say for 60 years, you didn't get to know how to do business in this life. Okay? You didn't collect lots of money. You didn't buy all these luxurious things you're dreaming to buy or to gain or to own. But you die, and then you got something that is eternal, forever. And so what did you lose actually? Anyone will tell you, you lost nothing. Believe me, you lost nothing. As long as you win the next life, you didn't lose anything. And Allah described these days as empty days when they are compared to the days of next life. كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما أسلفتم في الأيام الخالية. It's called the empty days for a reason. That when you compare it to that reward, the next slide, they are meaningless. So the most value of this life is how to gain something for the next life. And that is a fact. It's not about how to gain more money or how to gain more fame or how to collect whatsoever. Okay, now that's not a success. The success, how to gain something from this life for the next life. If you fail to do this, you lost the business of your soul. And try to take a look always, when you get into, now I know this, the youth, especially the youth, now they are giving up anything. They are giving up anything just for the sake to make a business and collect money. And they are willing to do anything just to get, because now the subject rising in the let's say nowadays is how to gain money and how to do business. There is no problem with that. But now when you ask them what you do with that money, okay, and you see their spendings, you will see they are losers. Only they are thinking about fancy cars, okay, fancy furniture, anything related to their body only. But there is nothing about next life. And that is quite scary actually. Okay, so يعني when I read the Quran, Allah Ta'ala did mention the word business, tijara. I think in around more than 10 places where he mentioned the business. Okay, it's not something new. And I assure you that once you get into that sort of business, you will never quit. You will continue. And that's when you say you need to make like a study or an analysis of what you have to do a business. Some people will do a business with their knowledge, okay, like consultancy services. People will do consultancy services for amount of money for people because they know how to do the consultation, how to design, correct? So they are selling knowledge. There are people who are doing the work. That's called constructions, okay? They can do the service or the work and you give them money for that. And some people are middlers. You know, they are brokers. They get between two deals and then they try to make the deal happen and then they get the interest. And there are lots of sorts of business. Almost the same goes for the next life. You could have knowledge and you could share. Day and night you could share that knowledge by writing, by speaking, by sitting, by giving, but you can because you have it, okay? Or you can do some work, okay? You can do some service, you can help some people, okay, with whatever you can. And that requires time. And again, it's for the sake of Allah. Or you can be a middler, or you can a broker in the deals for fixing relations. Okay. Now everyone says it's none of my business, none of my business, none of my. Why they are saying none of my business? Because there is no money in it. Okay. They are really decreasing the number of people who are interfering for the sake of Allah. For these sorts of things, they are decreasing. None of my business. Why none of your business? Because he said there is no income for it. Now I'll give you an example. You know, a husband and a wife, and they got into a fight. Now they are separated. It's very few people who really try to make what they say, like to middle between the two to make the relation return back. Okay, like he is. But Allah said this in the Quran. وَأَصْلِحُوا ذَاتَ بَيْنِكُمْ. Okay. وَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ. وَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ. Okay. Fix the relations between your brothers. And we know lots of brother and sister, or two brothers or two sisters, and they are fighting, or they are getting away from each other. That's a job, requires someone to do the trading with Allah for it. But everyone will say it's none of my business. Why do I get into the trouble to do this work? Why me? This is the reason. Trading with Allah. Only for the sake of Allah you will accept. Okay? So, life is very short. Our range is maybe like 60 years, 70 years maximum. Now, I think most of us now already have passed the mid, what you call the mid of the mountain. Now we are declining in the age. Now you need to think about these things. What did I submit to Allah as a product or a service that I'm expecting to get a return out of it? And even if I did, is it as per the quality, or I can make it better? So you pray to Allah, but most of the prayer you are thinking about something else. So your prayer is still not that much sincere. Then you need to work hard how to make your prayer as sincere as possible, where you think about Allah only when you pray. You do recite the Quran, but how do you, what you call, react with the verses, with the commandments? Okay, how you are with them? Okay, how much time you spend with the Quran? You need to, these questions are essential for you. Okay, I know most of people will not come and sit with you and say, hey, how much you read Quran? How much you recite Quran? You're a Muslim. They say, no, it's your business. No. True business people will care about each other. Okay, they say, from your time, from your day, what is the portion you have given for recitation of the Quran? He said, why should I read Quran? He said, it's mentioned in the Quran. It's part of the business. يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً لَن تَبُورَ. Now we have time in gatherings. We have 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours for barbecue, for stories, whatsoever. But try to make same gathering only for reading the Quran or discussion about the Quran. You will say that 100 will short to maybe 3 or 4. Everyone will say, I'm busy, because there is no benefit they see out of it. Correct? So, the good thing about the business of Allah, if Allah knows that you are sincere when you're trying to make this trade with Him, this is what I'm saying, He will double it in numbers you cannot even imagine. Okay? It doesn't matter when you start, but you need to come back and get into this route. Allah said, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. It's like the description of this ayah is you try to get into track, competing with others to get the reward. Okay? So that's like a track. Already there are people there. And once you are in that track, you will know them. You say, hey, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. And that one is really has gone very far. Okay, you will know that. Similar if you are doing business in this life. Whatever product you are selling, one of the secrets to do that business, you know who you are competing with. Okay, usually it happens. And you know all of the competitors, and then maybe even you get tips from them. If the relation is good with them, they will give you some secrets how to do that business. Same goes with the next slide. If you sit with this sort of people, they will give you. He will say, I will tell you something. Today is Friday. Do this, do that, do this. Okay. Tomorrow, he will give you instructions. Read that book. Okay. Recite that verse. They will be like this. So, because life is very short, and because now we are living in this capitalism system where everything is about money, we are really very far away from something about the next life. Between you and seeing whatever is the unseen world is only the angel of death. The second he comes to you, you already will see what the Quran was talking about in the unseen world. And now يعني, with the coronavirus, you will see that the most people who are at shock, those people who are doing business, okay, they are really, really desperate. And why? Because they see that they are losing every day, maybe every hour or every second they are losing. And they are losing time. See, the importance of time with them is very important. And when they know, the others, when they know that death is closer to them now, when they know this, they start to get into fear. But a Muslim, a true believer, he shouldn't be living in that fear. Okay, he takes the precautions, he takes the measures, whatsoever is given as instructions. But he is fine because he knows this is coming. There is no way to escape. There is no way to run away. Okay? So they try to utilize as much as they can of the day. But they are not at shock, they are not at fear. And by the way, that is good for their, what they call, immune system. Yani, for business people doing business with Allah, they are never in the fear of loss. That's the message. يرجون تجارة لن تبور. It will never vanish. That is very important. And that gives you the satisfaction. Say, how many you recite the Quran? He said, I finish the whole Quran every week. This guy will say. Said, and you are never bored? He said, no, because every time it's calculated, it's measured. There is a reward coming in the way. How much you are patient with your husband or with your wife or with your kids? Said, for 20 years, 30 years, and you never give up? He said, no, I never give up. Said, why? He said, because this patience is calculated by Allah. It is measured. And I'm expecting a reward. They are not easy to give up. Okay? And why I choose this subject, because now I've seen lots of my friends, lots of neighbors, everyone is talking about only the business of this life. And it's they are somehow very dangerous. They are willing to lose anything for the sake of sustainability of their business. Okay? And we are not taught to try and to start to do these deals with the law of the business. And وَتِجَارَةً تَخْشَوْنَ كَسَادَهَا. The fear, this is in Surah Tawbah, verse 24, he said that there is always a fear of losing your trade, your business. But there is no way the second that losing your trade or business, if that feeling is bigger than losing of the next life, then you are very far away from being a true believer. Okay? You are very far away. That is mentioned in Surah At-Tawbah, that you shouldn't be scared. Okay? Yani you should value the most is what you have between you and your Lord, Allah. Now, saying that, and it is still difficult for people, Allah said that the business with Him, if it's sincere, you don't only get the happiness in next life, you also get the happiness, what they call sakina, in this life. And that is, people now pay money in millions to get that sakina. So they are very calm, they are very relaxed, and they don't have that much of tension. Out of what? Out of that connection with Allah. I'll give you an example. A guy made a business and he made a profit, let's say 10,000, and he took that 10,000 and he spent all of that money to buy things for him. Okay, now the pleasure maybe for 1 month or 2 months for the new car or the new bedroom or the new furniture or whatsoever, and then it becomes like something normal. But a guy who spends 10,000 for the sake of Allah, to please Allah, these 10,000 or that the feeling of giving something for the sake of Allah will sustain with him for as long as he is alive. He will always feel that satisfaction that I did submit something and I need to do more. That is the difference, okay, between doing a business in this life, doing a business for the next life. In the last part, the last message, people will say that maybe you are trying to deliver the message that we should give up any sort of business in this life and only care about the next life. And that is not the message. Trading is very essential for our life, and it's part of our economy. Anyone has to sell and buy, whether a service or a product or whatsoever. My message is that don't make this life the only life you will be living. So now, if you made money, you need to think what portion that to continue the business you are doing and what portion you should give for the sake of Allah. That is my message. You continue with what you're doing, but even you can make the intention that whatever I am doing is only for the sake of Allah, not the sake of myself. Said, how can we do this? First of all, a zakah. Okay, we heard in Oman that there is some traders or businessmen whose money reached 5 million of zakah and then they refused to pay it. Okay, they refused because actually they cannot give up that amount of money. And same goes with the people now doing the tradings and they try to collect the money where they try to stay away or run away from zakah. So I said you have like 15,000 or 20,000 or 50,000, I don't know any amount. I said before it comes to a year, try to invest that money into spend it into something else. I said why? He said because time of zakah will come. Okay, time of zakah will come, then you will have to lose that percentage, 2.5%. And there are people who are doing this. What they are doing, they are running away from getting anything connects them with Allah. Okay? And so you can transform your current business, you can transform it, that something it will get you closer to Allah. That is the message. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, التاجر الصدوق مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء. And I kept wondering why. The truthful businessman, or let's say the sincere businessman or the honest businessman, he shall get the position in paradise with the prophets and the true believers. And you say this is only a trade man, he's a businessman. How can he get to that level? And now, if you go to the market and see the amount of cheating, the amount of lying, the amount of wrong conducts of any sort, you will know that the one who is sincere and honest in his business is an actual true believer. They don't cheat, they don't change numbers, they don't change the specifications, okay, they deliver as they promised. This requires true belief, and this requires sincerity, that they believe that Allah sees them, and they are doing this trade again for the sake of Allah. But now, without a true belief, without a connection with Allah, the business will become what? would become like a curse. A guy will open a business, and after 5 years, when you sit with him, he will say, at least I conducted maybe 5 to 10 sins. I had to cheat, I had to change numbers, I had to change specifications, I had to say this and it's not true. I said, why you have to? He said, just to keep the business running. And that's now we lost even the trust. Yani when we do tradings with anyone, sometimes you know he could be lying, but you cannot do anything. So even for those who choose to make a business in this life, they need to connect it with the next life. Okay? They need to connect it. Without a connection, it's just a matter of time and they will turn into someone else. Just a matter of time. Okay? Now when you have the skill, to do something, okay, no problem, you can do it even the sort of the best, you can give it up for the sake of Allah. That's level 1. And it's not for everyone. Okay? We can see some people who are writing books and they distribute it for free. Okay? Or they are very knowledgeable. They have lots of knowledge in some part of something needed by the people or the community, and they give it up for free, or they provide a service for free. And that's the 1%, let's say, of people who got tawfiq min Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do it, but they exist. The second part, or the second type of people, at least if they are doing a business, they need to show the commandments of Allah, the restrictions given in the Quran, and how to do business. But people are trying, because once they lose the connection with the next life, they will try to do any sort of misconduct. Okay, whether financially or deals. And we have seen this. We have seen now during the pandemic or the coronavirus. Some people try to not pay rent, but they can. And some people try to get as much as they can from the rent while they know the business is shut down. And see, it's a business, but where there is no existence in their hearts for the next life reward, it will get very ugly. Some companies are releasing all workers, and some companies are trying to find how to benefit or how to not harm the workers because they consider they are as one. This all will appear. Any business, there always will be a test on how they do this business for the sake of Allah. And I thought I would highlight this subject because it's very important. And the term business, actually, or tijara, came in the Quran, and we need to understand it. And I'm sure if any one of us give it more thoughts, give it more thinking, okay, he can get even more ideas and more messages from the Quran to us, so we can get benefits. I think I'll stop with this, and I hope I have tried to clarify at least the term trading or the tijara in the Quran, and the 2 types of business for this life and for the next life. And I'll conclude with that. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.